Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clank Zoka, and welcome to another My Thoughts On. And today I'll be doing a My Thoughts On Uglydolls. Yes, Uglydolls is one of the new animated films that's based on the toy lines of the same name, and it's got kind of a bad reputation. Now, just a quick heads up. I finished editing, creating my last review. It's all done, so expect that around August. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Hopefully, it won't get blocked again. Anyways, Uglydolls. Yeah, I haven't heard great things about it. It's not out in the UK until the 16th of August, so I guess it kind of makes sense that I talk about it today on the 16th of July. I don't know, I didn't want to see it in cinemas. It wasn't really like my cup of tea or anything, but hey, I watched it digitally. I watched it on Kiss Cartoon. I know it's illegal, but hey, I've got to find a way, right? Let's talk about it. Uglydolls is about Moxie, who's voiced by Kelly Clarkson, there we go, who believes that one day she'll find a child of her own. Basically, it's like Toy Story. She wants to find a child so she can play with her all day and all that, and she believes the real world is, well, real. So her friends, Pitbull, who plays Pit Dog, Wedge, voiced by Wanda Sykes, Babbo, voiced by Gabriel Iglesias. There's the Lucky Bat. There's who else? I think that's about it. They all join her on her adventure to get past the Institute of Perfection. I think that's what it's called. Where they come across Mandy, voiced by Jelly Montel, the singer. You may know her from, I think, Hidden Figures. She was also the one behind the What Is Love song from Rio 2. But there, there at the, I'm just gonna call it Perfection Town because I don't remember the name. Basically, everyone there, it just looks like just normal, perfect, tidy dolls. At Uglyville, it's very colourful, very bright, and very bizarre. And they come across the leader, Lou, voiced by Nick Jonas, and they have to prove to him that they can, go out there and, I guess, be a doll. Honestly, this film was so hard to follow. Okay, now, if you're expecting this to be a good review, like, I know there's like a fan base for this film, mainly from the toy line. I'm not sure actually, but if you're expecting good results, you're not gonna find much. Okay, first off, this movie is incredibly preachy about its message. Basically, it's all about, I think, about embracing your weirdness, which is fine, but this movie is so blatant and so obvious, it just kind of spills it out in the first few minutes. Also, the tone of the movie is really strange, which is why I say this is one of the many, many reasons why I think this is a Trolls ripoff. First off, the mood of the movie is very happy and cheery. So is the Trolls. But on the Perfection side, it's very serious and not very happy, just like the Bergen Towns. However, unlike the Perfection Town, the Bergen Town is like that's very ugly, obviously, but that's very dirty too. Perfection is like the perfect place for a doll. The humour is a very mixed bag. I'll admit there were a few times I did chuckle, but nothing that's like laugh out loud. It's very childish, basic, just kind of there to keep the children awake, I guess. It does try to become emotional, which doesn't really work since this movie tries far too hard and it tries far too hard and not enough that I just didn't care. I didn't care about the character's journey. I didn't care about what was going on. I mean, I wasn't bored. At least there was like, well, I'll get to the animation in a minute, but there was like colours. I was like, yeah, whatever. But it's just the way it's executed is just so. It's so basic and so bizarre that it just feels like another generic story about going to this big place, and then in the end, it's all about being yourself and embracing your weirdness. Oh, I don't know. The writing for this movie is just incredibly lazy. Now, I know this is for children, but I expect better from Uglydolls. That sounds strange, but there's not much more I can say about it. It does have some decent humour, but everything else is just garbage. The writing, the message, trying way too hard to be emotional, trying to make you care about this journey, even though it's just so hard to follow and it's just very childish. Oh, and it's also quite dumb as well. That's all I can say about it. Animation. Well, I'll give the film this. If there's only one good thing about the film, it's the animation. For the most part. First off, in Uglyville, this is a great looking place. It's colourful. It has really nice textures too. Each of the characters are easily identifiable, whether it's colour, shape, or body. I do like some of the visual gags, like instead of using pounds or like cents, they use buttons as like currency, which is quite clever. There's some good design work in some of these characters. They look very creative and colourful. I do love the way they look. The way they move is also quite cool as well, I guess. And I'll admit, the first few minutes in Uglyville is pretty cool. It's actually not bad. It started off okay with these bright colours. And then they get to this Perfection Town, which is just It just looks like something from like a student project or from Lionsgate or whatever. In that world, it did look quite cool as well, I guess, but nothing amazing. The characters in there, like Lou, Mandy, the three spies, they just look very average and very bland. But the Uglydolls, they look very creative and fun. However, this is not perfect. This looks like something you'd see on DVD or when you watch television. Granted, it does kind of have movie quality animation to it, unlike the Queen's Corgi. Anyways, I don't think this had a big budget, but the animation is very just normal looking, despite being colourful and it's kind of well done. But besides that, I think the animation's good. It's not great, but it's good. Sure, it looks generic and just looks like another bland animated film, but it's bright and colourful. It's got some good character design, and it's good. It's just good animation. Characters and acting. Oh boy, we got a whole list of characters here. Let's just get this over with. Moxie is just the believer and the one who's always happy. Basically, she's Poppy. And then you got her friends. You got Pit Dog, who's just basically Pitbull as a ugly dog. Get it? His whole joke is that he thinks ladies like him because he's a dog? I don't understand. You got Babbo, who's like the big fat guy who's always handy, I guess. Wadge is just the sassy one. Lucky Bat is the one who encourages Moxie. Ox is probably the only one. I think. Let's start that again. Ox, who is the mayor of the town, and he's also voiced by Blake Sheldon, It's probably the only one that actually has a purpose in the movie, but besides that, he's just kind of there for plot convenience. Mandy's actually probably the closest to being a good character, but yet again, she's just another character who belongs in their own world, but helps out the characters from another world trope. And then you go our main villain, Lou. He's basically Branch, except far more evil and just equally as annoyed and boring. It's pretty obvious that he's the villain when you see him. I mean, yeah, there are a few points where he helps out Moxie and the gang, but that's only just to trick them and manipulate them in a way. I didn't think he was a great villain. He was just kind of generic, and that's all I can say about it, really. I mean, yeah, there are like the three girl spies who help Lou, but they're just unfunny and boring. The ugly, the rest of the dolls in Uglyville are fine. They do have their moment to shine, but they didn't do a thing for me. However, the voice acting is actually fine. Kelly uh, Kelly Clarkson as Moxie is okay. She sounds like Kelly Clarkson. Pitbull is just it's just basically Pitbull playing Pitbull. Wanda Sykes is actually all right. Gabriel Iglesias is, he's good as always. I don't remember who voiced Lucky Bat, but he was all right. Blake Shelton's actually probably the better voice performer in the movie. He's actually quite good. Nick Jonas is great, obviously, and who I forgot her name, who played the singer / actress who voices Mandy is also quite good. Everyone else is just okay. They even got freaking Emma Roberts to play Wedgehead. That's weird. Despite some decent voice acting, the characters offer nothing except bland, forgettable, unfunny, just boring personalities with these really dull characters. I know this movie has songs, but I'm not going to go through them. However, the only one song I like is Broken and Beautiful by Kelly Clarkson. It's a good song, it's nice and catchy. The rest of the songs, though, are quite annoying, and they don't... I mean, after one song ends, they don't give you enough time to breathe or learn about the world. No, they just want to throw in more original songs. Unfortunately, they're not good. That's it. Anyways, yeah, this is not good, but I've seen worse. Uglydolls, more like mediocre dolls. Uglydolls is just another typically bland, generic, unfunny kids animated film with a dull, unfunny, just weird story. Animation's good, but very basic looking. Characters that have little to no personality, and they're just forgettable. Voice acting's okay, and there's one good song, and the rest of the songs are boring. I don't recommend this movie at all, and I can tell lots of critics and audiences don't really like it. It has a fan base, sure. Kids will like it, yeah. But for animated fans, give it a watch if you want, but if you choose to skip it, you're not missing anything. It's bad. But it's not one of the worst animated films I've seen. Heck, it's not even the worst film of this year. But it's still a bad animated film, and unfortunately it gets 3.5 out of 10. Sure, it's not terrible, but it maybe could have done better, but for now it's really bad. So yeah, that's Uglydolls. And since The Lion King is almost here, I'm going to be doing, wait for it, the Jungle Book 2016 remake, which might be tomorrow, hopefully, and Friday, the original 1994 Lion King, so look out for that. Anyways, if you've seen Uglydolls, let me know what you think below. If you like it, good for you. If you don't, I understand. Just let me know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Until next time, Stay ugly. I mean, bye for now. That was weird.